Yeah. Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What up? Welcome back to another episode of Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by DopeContent.com.
Yeah.
We are live on, what are we live on? I don't even know anymore because this thing just tells me. We're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, we're live on my personal X, Twitter. Your mom called you Twitter, I'm gonna call you Twitter. Only reason we're on my personal Twitter is because that's the one that I have the premium with. I don't have the premium with the Dope Content one, so they won't let me go live on that one. Which is, yeah. Anyway, I got premium on the wrong one apparently. But so, and the only reason I did it because I do my editing and tweeting and posting clips while I'm like at work or I'm driving 9 times out of 10. So I mess up. So I want the ability to be able to just go back and edit, a word or something if I messed up or whatever without having to delete the whole tweet. But but apparently you can't go live unless you have the premium. So I'm not paying Elon Musk premium for 2 pages. It's not gonna happen.
Oh hell no!
We are back after a week off, Thanksgiving week. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving, great holiday. If your team played that Thursday and you wanted them to win, I hope they won. We'll get into my team a little later, but other than that, how's your day going?
All right, yourself?
Doing good, man. So doing good. This is my Friday. I got tomorrow off, so.
Ooh, lucky you.
Big things happening this weekend, so I'll talk to you off stream once we're done. But big things happening this weekend, so I took tomorrow off. So yeah, I'm ready to get into it, man. It's good to see everybody that's coming in. Let me make sure YouTube, because YouTube will not always go live. Before we really dive deep into this, let me make sure YouTube is live. Because YouTube will be like, yeah, no. I don't know what's up with Facebook. Facebook don't like going live for whatever reason. Like, I go live on everything else. Facebook will be the hold up every time. So we are live on YouTube as well. Make sure that's good. So as you see on the title, we got NFL Week 14 preview, SEC controversy because the SEC has skipped the ACC yet again in the college playoff so far. The college playoffs haven't started, so it's not official yet. But if it was to start today, the Alabama is in the SEC is skipping another ACC team, which, I find it funny because everybody laughed at my team last year when it happened. So we're going to get into all that. Week 13 breakdown. Just a quick thing on the NBA just to see how your teams are doing. We do it every 10 games, so each team is at least 20 games in right now. So we got a pretty good show coming your way. WWE, see, Tony, look, WWE fan stuff is showing up on the screen. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That's crazy.
We didn't got it fixed. Look at that. I ought to delete it again just because it's him. But yes, go blue. That was a big weekend for Michigan, and I hope Rob is in the chat. I hope Rob don't decide not to come to the chat because Rob thought this was going to be the year that Ohio State beats Michigan finally, because Michigan has been horrible this year, and they still lost at home. So Somebody text Rob, tweet Rob, tell Rob to bring his ass in this chat. bring him on in this chat. Ryan Day out of there. I mean, if you can't beat your rivalry, that's what happens in college. They get you out of there. So, but let's get through the NFL first, then we'll come back to that. Hopefully this intro will play. We'll see.
Do it.
There we go. Bow, there it is. Intro did play, so we off to a good start, man. You know how it is when you take a week off, you be rusty, stuff don't come on like it's supposed to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Dynamite J in the building. Appreciate you coming through on Twitch. Once again, we're live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We're live on YouTube as well. Try to do Facebook. Facebook just won't accept. Facebook got beef with Streamlabs. I don't know what's going on.
Doesn't like you, man.
Just like I don't know what's going on with it, but it is what it is. I'll figure that out after the stream because we gotta figure out Facebook. Yeah. If you grow on Facebook, you're doing all right. So gotta figure out Facebook. But let's get right into it, man. NFL Week 13 recap. It started off. I feel like my mic is super loud right now.
No, you're good.
We good
on my end, at least. Yeah.
Okay. We started off with Detroit taking out the Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving, 23-20. And Chicago made a good comeback in this game. Caleb Williams went 20 of 39, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns. Good game for him. DJ Moore, 97 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 catches. And this was the dumbest ending to a football game I think I've ever seen in my life. So
it was pretty bad.
Jay Cross, you about to get banned already, man. Get up out here. But nah, go ahead, Tony. What's your thoughts?
Like you said, it was a pretty solid second half of the game. The first half looked like Detroit was going to run away with the game, and Chicago ended up coming back, had an opportunity to at least tie it at the end, but just poor time management. I don't know what they were thinking on that last play. They had a timeout left, yet did not call it. Caleb took a long time getting the snap off. I guess he was trying to get routes going or audibling. I don't know what exactly he was doing. But he took so long doing that they ran out of time. By the time he threw it, I think there was like 5 seconds left on the clock. So
from 30 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what happened there. Just some miscommunication all around the board there. I mean, we've been talking about this for a while with Chicago, that their coach should have been out of here a while ago, and finally they fired him, which I think was well deserved. I think he's just been doing a disjustice for Caleb Williams and that whole Chicago Bears team. I mean, the offensive coordinator got fired, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They got a new one now, and now he's a new head coach. So good luck to him. But yeah, it was just a horrible time management situation where you go from 30 seconds all the way to 0 by the time you throw that ball. It was insane.
Yeah, man. Matty Eberflus got fired, rightfully so, because that was just. I'm not even a Chicago fan, and I was yelling at the TV like it was the Cowboys or the Ravens. Like, what do you do? First of all, if you see your quarterback not able to get a play in because he's trying to, hey, do this, and you have a timeout, call the stupid timeout.
Yeah.
And get 2 more plays in, and then you kick the field goal. You're down 3, not 7, not 8. You're down 3, and you're in field goal range. Well, you're close to field goal range.
Close, yeah. And then again, all he had to do was throw a quick little pass and spike it, or if he gets lucky, he gets the ball out and they go out of bounds. I mean,
you had time for 2 or 3 plays before the field goal attempt.
Yeah, and it was just bad. I mean, Caleb, you kind of get to put some blame on him as well.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was doing out there, taking forever to get the snap off, and And yeah, he's to blame too as well. Apparently, he was told not to call the timeout. So
okay, but it takes him forever to get the snap off, and then he decides to go deep instead of just a quick pass.
Right? Yeah, just throw it away, bro. You might have maybe I don't know how that kick would have been. I'm sure it would have been pretty far, but it's indoors. You never know.
Bruh. 33 seconds left with a timeout. You do one play, and then your next play is a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
and you leave the field down, losing by 3 with that timeout in your pocket. Like you gonna take it to next game or something. Like,
right?
Oh
like
yeah, we're gonna have 4 timeouts next
it.
week instead of like stupid.
This made no sense, man. Chicago fans deserve a little bit better than that. So we'll see who they get in the offseason. But man, that was tough to watch.
There was a photo that I actually found and reposted. Let me find it real quick before we get off Chicago, because this is going to tie back into what we were saying last year about Caleb Williams. Trap G's in the building. What's good, bro? Make sure y'all follow him. He's a Madden streamer on Twitch. Give him a follow. Jay Cross is a streamer on YouTube and Twitch as well. He's an Eagles fan, but we'll promote him anyway. You know, that's how we do. But so there's a photo going around about the Chicago Bears drafting the quarterback in 2017, firing their head coach in 2017. Drafted, what's his name? I almost said Caleb Williams. Justin Fields in 2021, fired their coach in 2021. 2024, they draft Caleb Williams. Eberflus gets fired in 2024. You should have kept Justin Fields. And you should have built the offensive line and the same weapons around this man, like we said last year.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Chicago is, they're dying to find a new franchise quarterback, and they may have found one with Caleb.
You would never know until you get offensive lineman to block for.
Right, absolutely. And the fans are dying to find their new, they've never really had a franchise quarterback, so. I get it. They're dying to find one. They're dying to get one. Caleb fell to their hands, and they drafted him. I don't hold it against him, but sooner or later they got to look and see what's in the mirror and what's going on. Like every time the coaching is just not there. Maybe you need to go out and get a big time head coach and make that big splash. There's several out there. You got Gruden, Vrabel. Maybe you throw out Belichick. I don't know. There's these new up-and-coming offensive coordinators you got going on out there as well. And then there's also the ties with him and why am I forgetting his name right now? The Washington offensive coordinator, Kingsbury. You can go after him as well since they have ties with USC. So, they have options to go, but you can't keep striking out. You can't just be like, it's the coach's fault, let's fire him. But obviously it's not just the coach, it's from the top down.
Which bill are you talking about, Jay Cross?
Yeah, Belichick, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What the hell? What? I just can't picture him, and I can't. I'm sorry. It just looks weird.
This could be a ploy to where he can get me, some of these NFL teams, throwing more cash at him. But you never know.
That's interesting. That's interesting. They North Carolina love them old coaches, don't they?
They do. Mac to Bill.
Yeah, that's why they still losing. But anyway, moving on. Once again, the Chicago Bears lose. They are 4-8. Detroit is 11-1. 11-1. So pretty sure they're going to be high in the power rankings this week. Yet again. Moving on, the Cowboys, who just don't even know how to tank right. They beat the New York Giants, who is tanking perfectly fine right now. 27-20. Cowboys 5-7. Giants 2-10. Cooper Rush 21-36, 195 yards, 1 touchdown. Rico Dowdle, first time in a long time that a Cowboys running back has rushed for over 100 yards. So he went for 112 and a touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 69 yards on 8 catches. Cowboys almost found a way to blow this game, but they get the win. Now you got the fans that was just talking tanking 2 weeks ago. Now they're believing again. It's a chance we could beat Washington again and everybody else. Shut up.
You got to basically win out to
Yeah.
or maybe just lose one more game to be able to make the playoffs. I doubt that's going to be a realistic possibility.
We're going to be middle of the road, and it's going to cost us some draft picks. So.
I mean, thank you, Rico. He helped me win my fantasy game. But like you said, now you got the people believing, you got people talking. Could they make the playoffs? Could they make a late run? I mean, again,
when Tank Lawrence comes back and when Trayvon Diggs comes back, they're gonna see the defense is playing better. Like
the defense is solid. I mean, I'll give you that. I mean, the Cowboys' defense is no joke.
I'm not
when you're healthy, obviously, when you get Parsons and Diggs back, I guess you never know what could happen. But you got Cooper Rush throwing you that football. I mean, I don't expect much from him. And your offensive rushing game is suspect at best. It's not consistent. So, I mean, is there a possibility? Sure. Is it going to happen? More than likely not.
I'm not going on a rant, WWE fans. I know that's what y'all want. I'm not going on a rant tonight. I'm being good. But, hey, shout out to the Cowboys. If they somehow get to 7-7 in the next 2 weeks, then, hey, maybe we can start changing the conversation. But right now, I'm just like, whatever. Because I've been on Team Tank again early. So, and now you're messing that up. And so, whatever on that. But shout out to the Cowboys defense. They starting. Jay Cross about do we want to rant? No, sir. But Overshown and Parsons later on, them guys are gonna be dangerous. So people still talking about bringing Tank Lawrence. I'm like, bro, I would have traded Tank Lawrence, and I don't think Tank Lawrence is gonna be here next year anyway. So we'll see what they do after that. But again, do well in the draft. Because your owner is not going to do crap in free agency. So you got to have a perfect draft if you want this team to be worth something next year. But moving on, the Packers move to 9-3 as they take out the Miami Dolphins 30-17 in the snow. This was a Thursday night game as well. Tua 37-46, 365 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonas Smith just continued to ball from that tight end spot. 113 yards on 10 catches from him. Let's get into Jordan Love. Jordan Love, 21-28, 274 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Josh Jacobs only had 43 yards on the ground. As a team, Miami only rushed for 39 yards as a team.
God damn!
So that's where the problem came in for them. Green Bay rushed for 114 yards. They only rushed for 39 yards in the snow. They just dominated Miami. So, again, we talked about Miami's chances of the playoffs. How is it looking now, in your opinion?
They're done. Yeah, they're done. It's kind of crazy, the dramatic change from last year to this year with the running game. I mean, A-Chain was incredible for them last year, and he's kind of been just dead silent this year. So it's kind of, and Mostert too. I mean, Mostert had like a career year last year, and he hasn't really done much of anything on that Miami team. Maybe they start and look and maybe start moving some pieces around. I'm sure it won't be easy, but maybe they can move Tyreek and get something back in return. I don't think he's been really good for them. I think he's been kind of a bust, honestly, for them. He did pretty well with them last year, don't get me wrong, but I think at this point, move on from him, get someone younger. You got Waddle. If they keep Jonnu Smith, who's been killing it, like you said, they got maybe their future tight end right there. I mean, they just build up off of that.
I don't know.
Miami chances are done. So done.
I think Waddle has been more of a.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a silent guy as well. But again, he's been hurt a lot too. He's also a guy that gets injured a lot. So I don't know. Maybe you get him something in return for Tyreek. I don't know. I think Tyreek would be okay moving on and maybe go into a contending team. I think Miami needs to do a little bit of a small rebuild, nothing too drastic, but maybe to kind of boost up that offense, maybe get themselves a running back that's more consistent than A-Chain. But getting to Green Bay, they're kind of like the Eagles before last week, or past Sunday, where they're not talked about a lot. They're playing very well right now. but you don't hear them being talked about in the NFC a lot. And maybe tonight if they go in Detroit and they beat them, people will start throwing some more respect their way.
They will.
But they're kind of like the Eagles. The Eagles kind of quietly has been on this kind of massive winning streak, and then they beat Baltimore over the weekend, and now more and more people are starting to talk about them a little bit more. I think Green Bay is one of those teams as well. I mean, they're 9-3. They're potentially a game behind Detroit if they win tonight. So it's like they don't really get talked about enough. So they're quietly making some noise in the NFC. We'll see what happens tonight and the rest of the year before they hit the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a big game tonight, man. So, like I said, I'm making my prediction early. I have them pulling the upset tonight over Detroit. So that'll be my first game upset for the Week 14 preview. Moving on, the Chiefs escape the Raiders yet again. They win 19-17. They got to be the luckiest team. Like, it's crazy. But they're 11-1. The Raiders are 2-10. That tanking is working for them. This game, man. Did you see the ending?
I did. Yeah.
What happened? Because I missed it, and I turned my head. And when I came back, I was like, "The Chiefs won? How? Like, what happened?"
Well, originally they called it a dead ball. It was a dead ball penalty. It was supposed to be a false start penalty on the Raiders, which would have, it would have the fumble would not have happened. Obviously, they would have called the play dead, and they would have just had to repeat the down. But then all of a sudden the refs huddle up, and I forget what they changed it to. I think illegal formation or some shit like that. And the fumbles counted, and the Chiefs win.
Wow.
So originally they made a call, and then illegal shift. And then they switched it to a different penalty, which then counted the fumble and ended the game. I've never seen that happen in my life. Where one penalty was called, and then they switched it up after a huddle. It's just, I get it, Chiefs fans. If you want to say that, last year Chiefs did not play very well, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this narrative Chiefs fans are using. Well, if we were just kind of slowly just dominating the whole season and never faced adversity, how would we feel in the playoffs down 7 with a minute to go and this, that, and the other? They're trying to have this narrative that these close games that they're winning is a good thing. Sure, if you want to go that route, do you want to do that type of excuse or opinion? Sure. Yeah, you're winning these close games.
Battle tested.
Yeah, you're battle tested. Yeah, against the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, give me a break. The Chiefs are the luckiest team in the NFL, and I'm not want to be like this conspiracy theorist. I don't like to think the NFL is rigged. I'm not one of those type of people. But when you see the constant stuff that happens in Chiefs games that are either missed or called that you don't see in other games, it just blows my mind.
Sandwich Man, appreciate the follow. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Sandwich Man on Twitch. Let me make sure I say the right platform. On Twitch, appreciate the follow. He said, "Who do you guys think the greatest football player of all time?"
That's tough.
I know it's either Bo Jackson or Deion for me,
or maybe Barry Sanders.
Yeah, so those are the two for me that instantly like pop up in my head. But Chiefs, man, getting the win.
Yeah, right, Jeff. Yeah, I mean they just got so many stuff that goes that go their way that you don't see any other teams have it go that way. Just crazy to me.
Trap G said Jim Brown. That's a good one too. Moving on, the Chargers take out the Falcons. They moved to 8-4. They beat the Falcons 17-13. The Falcons are 6-6. Kirk Cousins, 24-39, 245 yards, 4 interceptions. Because I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw picks in the NFL. But
I thought
Hines Ward, get the what?
I may be trolling.
Yeah,
I thought Atlanta Falcons were winning the Super Bowl.
Man,
I thought Kirk Cousins was like
the
having
savior.
he was like coming off of this huge injury, and he was, Gonna win it all for the Atlanta Falcons. Look at him these last couple of games. He's been absolute garbage to the point to where I'm hearing people say they should bench him and start Penix. Like what? What the hell? What are you all doing? Like what is going on here that you're all of a sudden y'all are giving up on Kirk Cousins? I find that quite hilarious after their Super Bowl win against the Bucs a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
I don't understand what's going on in Atlanta. I'm loving it because it got my Bucs right back in the playoff hunt. But holy crap, man! Like insane how that Atlanta fan base just kind of quickly turns on Swaggy Kirk or whatever they wanted to call him after that NFC title game they beat when they beat the Bucs and came back and won. Insane.
I don't appreciate this energy Jay Cross is giving right now in the chat. And yes, but I agree because he did recently say he wants Mike McCarthy to get a contract extension. So that's an interception right there by that. So you're right. But yeah, man, the Falcons looking real shady, 6-6, not looking good. Not looking good at all. I think their last win is against the Cowboys, right?
It might be, and they got to play the Vikings this week. So good luck. Have fun.
Jeez. Now Kirk might go off against his old team. We'll see.
I mean, there's motivation there.
Yeah,
sure, absolutely. But you know, good luck trying to stop Jefferson.
Well, I mean, they got the secondary. They just,
I mean,
they're not consistent for whatever reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, what secondary?
Yeah,
you know, after all these people want to hype them up. I mean, you would think with the moves they made, they got Judon, they got Bates in the backfield as well in the secondary. You would think this team would be one of the top defenses in the game. Incorrect.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit.
I mean, they did hold the charges to 17.
Bijan, they got. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. How good their offensive team is.
Kyle Pitts and all them, Drake London.
Name alone, like obviously they're not performing to that level, but you like list the names they have. You're like, wow, this should be a top 10 offense. Nope. Absolutely not.
They let Ladd McConkey go off for 9 catches, 117 yards. So yeah, you might be right. You might be right with Justin Jefferson next week. You right.
The hell?
I've never heard of that name before.
What's going on? Like, what the hell?
Wow, that's funny. But hey, shout out to the Chargers, man. They under the radar as well.
Another team. Yeah.
They steady getting wins. Defense is solid. Offense is questionable, but you know, we'll see what happens if they can pick it up, you know, throughout these last couple of games. Speaking of offense, Steelers put up 44 points on the Cincinnati Bengals as they win 44-38. Steelers are 9-3, still leading their division, which is crazy. The Bengals is 4-8. Joe Burrow, you can't keep living off this one Super Bowl appearance, even though, in fairness, it's really not Joe Burrow's fault. The offense is balling.
Man.
The defense is the problem. But shout out to Russell Wilson, man. I'm glad to see him balling. 29-38, 414 yards, 3 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 75 yards on 16 carries, 1 touchdown. Mike Tomlin finally got him a quarterback, and look what they doing, man. Shout out to the Steelers, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, we got to eat crow on this one. We're the ones that were like, they need to get rid of Russ, keep Fields, and throw in a hissy fit here when they went and we're going to name Russ their starter, even though Fields is playing okay for them. And they obviously, Tomlin knows a lot more than we do,
right?
Because that was the right choice to make. Russell's playing unreal right now. Great. I'm happy for him because obviously everyone thought his career was done after leaving Denver and how that relationship ended with them. And obviously, and honestly, if you go back and look at his stats with Denver, they weren't horrible.
Not last year, no.
Yeah, the
year before, for sure.
Yeah, the year before, but his last year there, they just sat him like.
But that's Sean Payton's fault because he the one yelling at him all on the field, got the teammates yelling at him on the sideline.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I mean, he didn't have a bad year. I just think people kind of like thought, we're not going to see the Russ that we got in Seattle, and he's been playing pretty smart football. They got Pickens, who is just making some crazy catches, and He's doing unbelievable for them. They actually finally got their running game going. Do I think they're gonna make a run in the playoffs? Probably not. You know, I don't expect them. I mean, their defense is gonna have to keep them in the games. And if they're giving up 34 points, obviously they're not. I don't see a Pittsburgh team scoring 41 consistently in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to outscore teams. They're going to have to win on the defensive side, like low scoring type of ball games. Like, you're not going to see them go out there and score 41 against the Chiefs or the Ravens.
They haven't needed against nobody else. They just needed against this high powered
right, exactly.
Offense,
you know, as long as they can keep the games close and low scoring, I think they'll be fine. But I don't think they're a team that we need to be like really like, oh yeah, this is a Super Bowl team. I just don't believe in them that much.
As long as your quarterback don't turn the ball over and your defense is playing how they playing, if you're in the playoffs and it's cold in the environment in the AFC, all their games are cold. It's wintertime, it's snowing and all that stuff. That's the type of team you need. So I wouldn't sleep on Pittsburgh. I wouldn't sleep on them at all. Speaking of sleepers, my sleeper team almost upset at the Vikings, but they lose 23-22. The Cardinals lose, and they move to 6-6. The Vikings are 10-2. Kyler Murray, 260 yards, 1 touchdown on 45 attempts. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 99 yards. Good win for the Vikings. I thought the Cardinals was going to pull the upset, but, you know, the Vikings snuck one on up out of there. So
yeah,
that's
like
all I got
early on.
game.
Yeah, same. Early on, looked like the Cards had an opportunity to win, and you know, the Vikings are just a better team.
Yeah, Cardinals still got a chance to sneak in though, so I still got hope with my sleeper to sneak in the playoffs. They 6-6 right now. Yeah, Minnesota. The defense is.
I think they're shaky at best. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll be a team to be reckoned with in the playoffs.
Not like that.
I don't think they'll be like one and done.
I mean, they very well could be one and
They could be depending on the matchup they get, but I mean, yeah, they could probably never mind. Yeah, they may be a one and done team.
Yeah. So we'll start looking into playoff brackets either this week or next week to kind of see how matchups are looking and all that. But probably next week we'll start because it'll be week 15. So the Colts keep their playoff hopes alive, and they get a 1-point victory over the Patriots, 25-24. The Patriots 3-10, keeping that tanking alive.
Yeah.
For whoever they trying to get. I don't know who they're trying or who they have their eyes set on right now. But Richardson throws for a touchdown. He runs for a touchdown with 12 seconds left as well. So, I mean, that's his moment of the year. So, shout out to Anthony Richardson because it's been an up and down year for him. So, for him, you know, to have a game winning, shout out to him. Drake May. How you feel about May as the quarterback for?
I think Patriots hit on Drake May. I really do. I think they gave up. I don't think they needed to move up or anything. I think they could have traded down and still been able to get Drake May. I think they kind of I don't want to say this, but they shot their load too quick and went after Drake May thinking that he was going to be gone sooner than he probably was.
Yeah.
But I think they hit on Drake May. I think the majority of the teams that went with quarterbacks, well, obviously we don't know what the Falcons have, that went with quarterbacks early in the first, I think they hit. I think Drake May is going to work out with New England, and he's making something out of nothing. I mean, look at the guys he's throwing the ball to.
I was just about to say they're most likely going to get a receiver first round.
Yeah,
right?
So I mean, they don't got really anybody out there that is like a true number one wide receiver, and you know, and they the running game is suspect at best. So I think they hit on Drake May.
Okay, he looks pretty solid. I mean, with that high draft pick that they're gonna get, I was just trying to see if they would think about going to get another quarterback, or do they feel solid enough?
I would keep him. I think he's better than the quarterbacks in this class. Maybe Shadir. I mean, I guess, but again, we don't know what these guys are made out of once they hit the NFL. You know, Shadir looks great in college football, yeah, but who says he's going to be some great quarterback when he gets into the NFL? We don't know that.
Right.
At least Drake May has, you know, snaps under his belt, and he's looked successful in some of these games against, you know, solid teams and with its offense that really has nobody. You know, I guess if you're New England, your best bet is hopefully getting a top 3 pick, maybe number 2, and getting Travis and having a 1-2 punch in the secondary with Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter. I mean, you would have 2 lockdown corners to build around on that defense.
And well, look, this is the crazy thing. They are 3-10. The next 2 teams we're going to talk about are 3-9 and 3-9. So, and so your Jets, you know, they fall to 3-9. They fall to 3-9.
Boy, did I whiff on that one,
man! And they lose 26-21 to the Seahawks. Seahawks are 7-5. Geno Smith 20 of 31, 206 yards, 1 touchdown. Let me see what Aaron Rodgers did, because I paid no attention to this game. Aaron Rodgers 21 of 39, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, because I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw picks in the NFL. Devontae Adams, 5 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches, 41 yards. If you're the Jets, what position are you looking for, and why is it not quarterback in the draft this year?
I think if you're the Jets, you got to go quarterback. You're going to have an opportunity to get one of these guys with the top picks. You know, Ewers, I'm not sure who else will be going out.
What's the quarterback from Georgia? Can't think of his name right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, beats me, to be honest with you. But, you know, I think, honestly, it's the situation at hand. Like, if you're New York, do you trade down and get prospects and assets back for that draft pick? I think they're going to do a total rebuild. I doubt Aaron Rodgers will be there next year.
I would trade Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
I would try. I would do my best to try to trade Devontae Adams. You know, it may not happen, but if I could, I would do whatever I could. Even if it's for stuff you're not going to, even if it's not a fair return, you got to get him off your team.
I take that back. I'll trade Rodgers and see what I could get for him first. If nothing, then I would have to add Devontae Adams. But if I could get something like a sucker team that still think, oh, we just need a quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, and they just trade hella draft picks or whatever, then I'll just trade Rodgers. But Devontae, only reason I say I'll trade him is because, you know, once Aaron leaves, it's gonna be like, oh, I want to go somewhere else. That's the
he's not worth the headache, man.
Yeah,
he's not worth the headache. Get him out of there if you can.
Yeah,
and I don't know the whole contract legalizations and shit like that you have to go through with Devontae. But yeah, I think honestly, you just gotta rebuild. You gotta start from the bottom and up.
They've been rebuilding for so long.
They have, and this was the opportunity that looked like it could be there for them, and no. It just wasn't. So, yeah, I think it's time for them to move on and just start over.
One thing I did see, even though I did not watch this game at all, was shout out to Leonard Williams for the 92-yard pick six. That is hilarious against his former team. So I know that felt great.
Calling. Yeah.
That was great. He was moving. Like he was gone. So shout out to Leonard Williams for that, man. I know they had to feel great doing that against his former team in New York at that. So, but again, we talked about the Patriots, who they going to get and what draft pick at 3-10. Jets are 3-9. The Tennessee Titans are now 3-9 after losing 42-19 to the Washington Commanders. Washington is 8-5. Bounce back game after Washington lost, I believe, 2 straight. Or was it 3 straight? How many games did they lose in a row?
I do not know.
I think it was 2.
They weren't good losses, that's for sure.
I know they lost to the Eagles and the Cowboys, or the Ravens and the Cowboys. So I don't know. I think it might have been 3. I don't care. That's not my team. But
they did lose to the Eagles as well. So it might have been 3.
Matter of fact, let's just so we can be accurate for the people that are watching us on these platforms. Yeah, it was 3. It was the Steelers, Eagles, and Cowboys back to back to back.
There you go.
So yeah, after 3 straight L's, they finally get another win. They're nothing but the Cowboys of old. Same thing. They beat up on bad teams and good teams. They find ways to lose those games. That's what I think about Washington this year.
Washington is just a feel-good story. They ain't nothing else. They're not going to do nothing in the playoffs. They're just a feel good story that, hit on a quarterback that they got and they're playing well.
Yeah. But it was Robert Salah's fault. Facts, Jay Cross, they got rid of him and the GM that brought you those players. Hilarious. So
yeah, they got rid of a good GM.
A very good GM.
So yeah, have fun, Jets. You deserve what you get. So
boy,
get rid of the coach that took all the blame and the GM for making all these moves to try to make this team better. Good job.
Right. Speaking of teams that's tanking, that's fighting for a high draft pick as well, Tony Khan's Jaguars go to 2-10 as they barely lose. I don't know what's going on with the Houston Texans. I picked them as one of my favorites in the AFC, but they're struggling right now to win games, especially against teams like the Jaguars. They win 23-20 over the Jags. C.J. Stroud, 22 of 34, 242 yards, 1 touchdown. Shout out to Joe Mixon, 20 carries, 101 yards, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins, 8 catches, 119 yards. What's the quarterback name? Let me pull him up. Trevor Lawrence gets carted off because he got hit late on a slide, and then that was a big issue. The player that hit him got suspended for 3 games.
As you should.
Alzi Shahir got suspended for 3 games. 3 games is excessive. That was a dirty hit, but I've seen quarterbacks get hit like that, and they got a game.
He has a history of these late hits, though.
He's a Draymond Green.
I did see that, Jeff, about Rex Ryan. Yeah, but because you go back earlier in the year, he nails Caleb when he's running out of bounds. Like, he could have just let him run out. Instead he railed into him, threw a punch at Roscoe Johnson, the running back for the Bears as well. And then you saw what he did against Trevor. He's also done something. I think it was either a year before was when Brady. I think it was with Brady was with the Bucks, and he had a late hit on Brady. He's just known for doing this type of shit. And like Jeff said, he's already been fined before. I think it was on the Roscoe punch. He got fined for that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that play was dirty. That is a dirty ass play.
It was bad.
And to say that he did not have no time to not do that is absolutely BS. Because if you go back and look at the tape, Trevor was giving himself up, and he just came and just ran into him. I get it that there's some times when quarterbacks do it and they do a little fake out. Yeah, I've seen it happen before, mostly in college. I think Mahomes did it too once, kind of faked it and still got it. But
Josh Allen did it. Your favorite.
Yeah, I didn't see the Josh Allen one.
He's done it multiple times.
I think, again, if you want to do it to where it's a 15-yard penalty on the offense, if a quarterback does that, do it. Maybe they need to come with some type of a penalty for those guys that are doing the fake slides in the NFL. I mean, if it's I don't see it being an occurring thing, but they need to make it a penalty. Again, also, I get it. Defensive players, it's tough to be a defensive player when it comes to a quarterback and tackling him, because you breathe on a quarterback and you're getting roughing the passer. I totally get it. But in this aspect of the game where he's running and diving, and he pretty much just said, I'm giving up on the play.
Yeah.
And then he comes in there and just squares it and knocks the shit out of him. That's a dirty play, man.
Yeah, it was dirty. And I like that idea, actually. Give them a 15-yard penalty or something for the fake slide. That's actually a good idea. Dunn, what's good, man? Thanksgiving was cool.
Yeah, just give him even if it's not a 15, give him a 10-yard. Something to prevent something like that happening, because again, you want to prevent these guys getting lit up when they're sliding. Make it to where if they fake it, it's a penalty on the offense, and it's easy fix. It's a real easy fix.
Yeah, it was cool. That's a good idea. Moving on, the Rams keep their playoff hopes alive. 6-6 after a 21-14 win over the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 4-8. I know you happy about that. Kamara had 112 yards. Derek Carr had 184 yards on 37 attempts. 1 touchdown for him. I didn't care anything about this game. Good win for the Rams. That's all I got.
Scrappy win for the Rams again, man. They're playing hard, so I'll give them that. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on that game.
Yeah, Don. We only had one. I did at my family's house. We only had one. It was a big plate, but it was one plate. But
there you go.
Like none of us, we was all talking about it too. It's like, yo, nobody really got seconds this year. Everybody was they were done. We were done. We're getting older. We can't just keep eating like we used to. So the Buccaneers, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers moved to 6-6 after a 26-23 victory over the Carolina Panthers, who is now 3-9, and Carolina is still in that. It's so many teams. This is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen it where so many teams at this point of the season with 3-4 wins.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it like this before. Everybody's tanking. They don't want to say they tanking, but we know they tanking because the top half of the draft is very stacked. Bryce Young, 26-46, 298 yards, 1 touchdown. He's trying to keep his job basically. Bucky Irvin, 152 yards, 1 touchdown on 25 carries. Mike Evans, 8 catches, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Your team keep their playoff hopes alive. What's your thoughts?
They're lucky to win. They were very lucky to win that game,
Which is crazy.
Bryce Young, from what I've been seeing the last couple of games and in the game against the Bucs, he's playing a lot better. Whatever offensive scheme they've added to help him play better, it's worked. They're doing a lot better, and I was in amazement that the Bucs won that game because they should have lost. Like straight up, they should have lost that game. I don't know if you watched the game at all.
I didn't.
They go for overtime. Yeah, they went into overtime. They were lucky to get into overtime. You know, and they had 30 seconds left. Drove down the field, hit like a 54-yarder or something around those lines, and hit the field goal. Got into overtime. They win the toss. Now, granted, the Bucs are 0-2. Well, 1-2 now. In overtime games, but both games they've been in overtime, they've lost a coin toss, and this time they win it. We drive downfield, missed the long ass field goal, and they're right into field goal range. I mean, they threw a nice crazy pass to Thielen, who caught it one-handed, and I mean they were pretty much in field goal range at that point. But Pinheiro, luckily for the Bucs, Pinheiro missed 2 field goals already in that game. And they were pretty like chip shot. I mean, like a 40-yarder, 37-yarder. So they wanted to get closer for him. And the next play, they fumbled it. Chuba Hubbard fumbled the ball, and we get the ball back and end up scoring. We got very lucky. Now, a lot of things are going good for the Bucs on offense. Bucky's starting to come to his own. The running game is playing fantastic. You know, we got Mike Evans back, who played well. Which I'm happy for, but our defense needs to step up. And I don't know if that's a defensive talent issue or if that's a Todd Bowles issue. And, I'm kind of wishy-washy on him. I don't know if I want to keep him or if I want him to leave. But, man, he needs to fix something, especially when the part where look, I'm not a coach, obviously, but when they're playing 10 yards off of a wide receiver and they're driving down the field to win a game or to go up, I don't understand the concept of doing that. Are you scared they're going to get beat off the line? Is there something that I don't know as a fan that I'm not seeing on the television
Dallas
screen?
Dallas does it all the time, and he kills me, dude.
They're playing 10 to 15 yards off of wide receiver. What do you expect is going to happen? Dink and dunk.
Yeah,
and that's what happened where the Carolina Panthers dink and dunk their way down the field, and they ended up scoring, and they went up. And Todd Bowles is so fucking hard-headed sometimes when it comes to things where he doesn't go off of he has a play style that he plays at that particular game. And that game he was going to blitz like crazy.
Yeah.
And he did, and it almost cost us the game. It's to the point to where, come on, man, switch it up. Do something different. You can't just keep on blitzing because you don't trust the guys in the back to hold their guys. That's the point. They're trying to hope and make Bryce make quick decisions and he was making them. Switch it up, brother. Like, do something different to help them out. And we got lucky. We got so fortunate that we were able to cause a fumble there
to beat the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've been hyping the Bucks up and saying they are one of the sleeper teams that people shouldn't sleep on. But
I don't think they're a sleeper team. I think they have the talent to make the playoffs. Well,
they're going to make it because their division is.
I don't know, man. It's tough, but I just feel it's ridiculous at this point.
I say give it. Let's see what they do the next 2 weeks to see how they're playing now that Mike Evans is back and getting back in the thick of things, and so we'll see how they do the next 2 weeks to see if I stick with them like I've been sticking with them all year. Moving on, the Philadelphia Eagles 10-2 after they take out the Ravens 24-19. Ravens are now 8-5. I did not expect this game to go the way it did. Shout out to the Eagles, man. They are pretty deep with talent. Jalen Hurts, this is another year where they loaded Jalen Hurts up with talent, and he doesn't have to really do anything besides not turn the ball over to get to the Super Bowl. Now he has an all-star, superstar running back that's healthy in Saquon that's just on another level right now. Jalen Hurts goes 11-19. That's all he got to do. 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts ain't done crap. Lamar Jackson, 23-36, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, the crazy thing about this is if they do go back to the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts going to get all the credit. They ain't going to say nothing about the rest of the team. They going to say, Jalen Hurts is this, Jalen Hurts is that. Eagles fans, the ones that troll and the ones that are idiots, we're going to be like, see, Jalen Hurts won more playoff games than Dak. Look at the damn team that this man has right now. All he has to do is throw the ball 19 times. Saquon's going to get 100 and multiple touchdowns every game. And then their defense is stepping up, and they're not even fully healthy. And their defense is balling the way they're balling right now. So shout out to the front office of the Eagles. Much respect to them, because I would never talk down their front office, because they always go out and get it. They find ways to get players, unlike the Cowboys, who make excuses all day. And the Ravens, I don't know what's going on with the Ravens and Justin Tucker, man. It's a sad scene to see over there. It's very sad.
But I don't think there's. I mean, there obviously. I can't say there's none, but I think Eagle fans know that the majority of the reason why they're doing so well is because of Barkley.
You got to take the ball out of his hand.
I mean, that man is playing unfreaking believable. I don't understand like what the Giants' thinking was letting this man go, and the way he's playing for the Eagles is just incredible. This guy is saving that team in some aspects of ball games. Like, this guy is helping them win games single-handedly. When things aren't going well, he's the one you go to, and he makes things happen. We've seen it happen a couple of times already this year. And this team is scary. Like, I think people don't recognize how good this team is. Obviously, they're probably the weak link on the offense is Jalen Hurts.
Which is
you gotta hope he makes a bad decision. You gotta hope he throws a pick or gets sacked and a fumble happens. You gotta hope that he makes the mistake on the field, because there's a fucking fly in my house and it's pissing me off. You're gonna have to hope that he makes a mistake, because Barkley doesn't make those. He fumbled last game, and I mean, how rare is that?
Right.
And he got the ball back.
Got it back, yeah.
But I mean, this dude is the reason why the Eagles are doing so well. He's opening up other players on the field as well. And props to him. Obviously, there's the whole MVP talk with Barkley, and obviously it's all about the quarterbacks when it comes to the MVP, and obviously probably more than likely Barkley won't win it, which is a shame.
He should be top 2.
But my goodness, man, without Barkley, who knows what the Eagles would be right now. But that man is keeping them going on offense, and it's crazy to see. And like you said, their defense is just starting to come to their own right now. They're starting to play a lot better as well. And this team is a very quiet team. They're the quiet assassins. Like, you didn't hear nothing about this team. I mean, there would be, all the talk about him, because of Barkley.
Yeah, I'm about to say, when they got Saquon, everybody was like...
doing it's not about the team.
But throughout the year, it has been
It's
quieter.
about Ben Barkley. It's been about Barkley, all about Barkley. And now they get the win against Baltimore, and now all of a sudden people are calling them a for real team. Where was this talk a couple of weeks ago when they were still beating these teams, and there was nothing. All you heard is talk about Barkley. So this team is scary, and if they get, obviously a top 2 seed, they could get the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
it's possible.
They one game out.
They have home field advantage. I mean, good luck. I mean, again, there's teams that can beat them. It's not like they're an unbeatable team. I mean, there's teams that can go in there and beat them. But
if it's in Philly, like if the playoffs has to go through Philly, the only team I see beating them in Philly is Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit has the offensive game plan, like the run, and they're a tough, gritty team.
And that's iffy. But if other than that, if they don't match up with Detroit in Philly, I can't right now off the top of my head. Like Green Bay will give them a good match, but I don't think Green Bay can beat them. So, and that's really like my top 3 teams in the NFC. Those.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And again, we got to, obviously it's played on the field, and we got to see, and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, and I'm not even Eagles. I hate the Eagles. No disrespect, Jeff.
Nah, we
I'm
hate
not an Eagles fan. I'm a Bucs fan.
All disrespect, J. Crow.
You think I like to see the Eagles and all these other teams be successful? I'm okay with the Lions because the Lions haven't won shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see them actually do something. But I mean, the Eagles are, they're up there, man.
Yeah, they legit. Now the Ravens got a question, and now honestly, they need to start having a conversation about Tucker. And if you bring another kicker in to the practice field,
what harm does it do?
You have to
bring in another kicker.
You have to. You lost 2 games this year because you couldn't simply make field goals. Pittsburgh and Philly. Like you would have had to lead in both games late in the games if you make your field goals, and he's missing too many field goals. It's ridiculous. And then the fact that he's doing it at home, it's
And look, again, 50-yarders. Again, these kickers have made 50-yarders look like extra points.
He's missing 40-yarders.
Yeah, no, I know, I get you. So I'm trying to give him a little bit of a pass. Like on these 50-yard field goal kicks, they're not easy. They've made them look easy, but they're not easy. But the 40, the 30-yarders that he's missing, there's no excuse for
extra
that.
points and like
I don't understand.
Something is off.
There's no disrespect intended to Justin Tucker,
right?
If they bring in another kicker, just know that in the back of your mind, you better be believing that if I keep fucking up, they're gonna replace me, and they should. You play bad, you should next man up. It's in every fucking position on the football field. No man's better than the other. And if you're struggling and not playing well, look, we got someone else that can do better. We're going to give them a try. It happens in every single position. Why does it change for a kicker? I get it. He's one of the best ever. Totally get it. I totally understand. But when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. We've seen it happen in many, many times. You're nothing special, Justin Tucker. Step your game up.
Yeah, like you're the GOAT kicking overall, but this year, bro, like you're costing the team. And when it gets to the playoffs, we can have you going 2 for 4 every game.
Yeah,
like we just can't. Yeah, exactly. We can't do it. So
again, it's a tough conversation to have with him because obviously he's been so good for you so long. But again, you have to have that tough conversation with them and say, hey, you keep missing these field goals, man. We may have to bring someone else in when the time comes because you can't keep having him be the reason you're losing these games.
Yeah, because every game is not going to be a blowout where you could just get a ball to Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter and just let him run everybody over.
You got to hit a field goal every once in a while.
They lose by 5 points. he missed 2 field goals, which is 6 points right there, and the extra point. That's 7.
Yeah.
And it was the same situation against Pittsburgh. You missed 2 in that game. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
you can't. At this point, bro, you gotta help your offense out. You gotta help Lamar and Derrick Henry and all them out. Because basically what you're telling them now is you have to score a touchdown or every drive or we're not winning.
Yeah, just go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
So, what is going on? My whole computer froze. What is going on over here? But shout out to the Eagles, man. I ain't gonna hate. I am gonna hate on the people that's. I don't get Eagles fans. Like, you're winning. Cowboys suck right now. Why are you still talking about Dak on the timeline? Like, anyway. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's loser mentality. The ones that all day just Jalen Hurts got this over this. Dak ain't did. Dak is not even playing. He's hurt. Why are you still talking about him? Like, he hurt y'all feelings that bad because he basically dominated y'all? Like, out of here. Eat a dick. Y'all were talking about Dak Prescott. Get out of here. Always on his nuts, man. But anyway, the Bills moved to 10-2 in the snow. Nah, the rain ain't coming. You thought it was coming, Jay Cross. See, I'm doing good. The Bills moved to 10-2 as they take out the 49ers, 35-10 in the snow. 49ers are 5-7. Which is crazy, but it's a rough year. They got a lot of injuries. They dealing with personal issues. 2 players lost their newborns within 2-3 weeks. It's crazy. Like, it's Christian McCaffrey is out for the year now. Like, they're just going through over there in San Francisco. But as a Cowboys fan, outside of them losing I don't feel bad for the team.
No.
For the organization, but the players that's like, especially the ones that lost their newborns, man. Prayers to them.
Oh, absolutely. You feel bad for them, yeah.
Prayers to those players, and prayers to Christian McCaffrey, man. Like, your career.
Dude, I think his career's done.
It's not looking good, bro.
I think his career's done. It's always something with him, and it's always the legs. It's always a leg injury.
Yeah. So
I honestly think he's done. I think if you're going to keep McCaffrey, it's on split carries. You cannot overdo this guy. They're going to have to split the carries in between him and whoever else, Mason, or if they bring someone else in. Yeah, but he's done. He's not a full-time running back anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. And watching the Bills in the snow is just unfair, man. That's like, if my team was going up against the Bills and they say it's a blizzard outside, it's like, you know what? Go ahead and cancel the game, man. We're not playing.
Yeah,
there's no point
playing in that type of weather. I wouldn't expect them to have any chance. That is insane to have to play in that type of weather. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine.
But Buffalo knows how to do it. Like, they look perfectly fine. Everybody else
had no issues, bro. They're like, whatever. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
No, let's run the ball. Let's throw a pass to Amari Cooper, who throws it back to Josh Allen.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.
Josh Allen, 13-17, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cook, 14 carries, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. And his older brother, Dalvin Cook, was on Twitter saying, pay that man. They better pay him.
They better, yeah.
They better pay him if they know it's good for him. Bills 10-2. Josh Allen keeping his MVP hopes alive as well. So shout out to the Bills. Yeah. 49ers, you know what makes me mad? And I tweeted this out while this game was happening. I say the bad thing about this is the Cowboys, they're not gonna win crap this year, and they're still gonna end up taking the L to the 49ers because the 49ers beat us, and then they're still probably gonna end up with a worse record and get a better draft pick. Yeah. Like, we just can't beat them no matter how we spin it. Like,
right? Yep.
Anyway, moving on. The Broncos. This game was fun, and this game helped me pull an epic comeback in my fantasy league. Broncos moved to 8-5 as they put 41 points up on the Cleveland Browns, who are also 3-9, another 3-9 team. They win 41-32. Jameis Winston, 34-58, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns. Just him and Jerry Jeudy just went crazy. Bo Nix. Let me keep going with Jameis Winston. 3 interceptions because I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw picks. Bo Nix, 18 to 35, 294 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions because I thought Dak Prescott was the only one that threw picks. Jerry Jeudy, my fantasy wide receiver, 9 catches, 235 yards against his former team, 1 touchdown. Elijah Moore, 8 catches, 111 yards. Marvin Mims Jr. for Denver, 3 catches, 105 yards. His 93-yard touchdown was a dot by Bo Nix.
Yeah, that was a dot.
Sure. Cortland Sutton, 6 catches, 102 yards. Yeah, man, these guys went up and down the field. This was a fun Monday night game. And I kind of wish Cleveland was better so I could see this again in the playoffs. But shout out to the Broncos, man. Bo Nix is looking good. The defense, I didn't expect the defense to give up that many points, but shout out to them. I was down 40 points going into Monday night. And King, who you normally see on the stream talking noise, that's who I was going up against. He started talking shit in the fantasy chat. Content loser, you suck. I'm sweeping you. Yeah, I say okay. I say it's gonna be funny when my team go off tonight. So I said I still got 3 players. I had Njoku, I had Judy, and I had Myles Garrett. And Jameis was on the bench because I played Lamar. And then he ended up losing. He was up by 40 when the game started. He lost by over 20 points. So kick rocks, King, and you're eliminated from the playoffs, buddy. Thanks to me. So bruh. Make sure you keep subscribing though. What's your thoughts on this game?
I don't really have much. Like you said, Bo Nix played well. It was a fun back and forth game, entertaining Monday Night Football game. You don't get those much when it's like those kind of low tier teams playing a playoff team at the moment. It was a fun game.
Yeah. So shout out to who had bye weeks. I don't see anybody that had bye weeks this week. Everybody played. So no bye weeks this week. That is week 13. Let's get into the power rankings real quick. And then week 14 predictions. What happened?
So it looks like Detroit's about to score. They're driving down the field.
Already?
Yeah, they're on the 10-yard line.
So these are the predictions from 2 weeks ago. I had the Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, Lions. Tony had Steelers, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Lions. I went first last time. It is Tony's week to go first. So let's get to deleting. Let's get this top 5 in the power rankings.
This one's going to be an interesting one.
Very interesting. I'm glad you're going first this week.
You know what? Looking at the top 5, I might still keep the same people, just move them around. I think I'm going to still keep the Steelers at number 5. Good win against the Cincinnati Bengals. Putting up 41 and looking the way they did. I got to put them there, and they're playing very well right now. Number 4, I'm knocking them down. The Chiefs. I'm going to put the number 4, the Chiefs. I think they're very vulnerable. I think they're just getting by against some of these teams. So I'm going to put them at number 4. I hate to do this because I love them. Buffalo Bills at number 3. Put the Bills at number 3. Good win against the Niners, but I got to give the props to the Philadelphia Eagles going into Baltimore and beating them. I got to go with Philly at number 2. And I'm going to keep the Lions at number 1.
You said the Lions at number 1 still?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's not a bad list. So Steelers 5, Chiefs 4, Bills 3, Eagles 2, Lions 1 for Tony.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see no problem with none of it. To be honest, I think I'm gonna still keep the Chiefs over the Bills.
Okay.
I think I'm trying to think. Who are we missing? The Vikings at 10-2. I think the Vikings don't belong in the top 5 right now. Yeah, so Steelers 5 for me as well. Steelers 5 for me. 4, I guess I gotta put the Chiefs because the Bills did beat the Chiefs earlier as well. Dang, so I didn't want to do it either. Bills number 3. Yeah, we got the same. Eagles number 2, Lions number 1. So I think this might be the first time ever we ended up with the same top 5. So I couldn't argue it. I was looking like I have no arguments against none of this right now. So there it is. Power rankings, top 5. Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Lions in that order.
Yeah.
Now, let's get back to the NFL. Quick predictions. Week 14 has already started. I got the Packers beating the Lions tonight. Who you got winning this game?
I have the Lions. I got the Lions winning.
We'll see. The Lions might move down the power rankings next week. We'll see. I got the Packers for the upset. Jaguars, the battle of the tanking teams. Jaguars at Tennessee.
Yeesh. You know what? I'm going to go Tennessee. I think Tennessee's winning.
Yeah. No Trevor Lawrence. I'll take Tennessee as well at home. Jets at the Dolphins.
I'm going to go upset Jets.
Hell no. I got the Dolphins. The Jets are not winning no more games, man. Okay. Falcons at the Vikings.
Let's go Vikings.
I think Atlanta actually win. I think Kirk Cousins just decides to have a crazy game, and the teams play harder when they quarterbacks, go back to their old stadium.
Oh yeah,
so,
for sure.
Just for that reason, I'm gonna take the Falcons in the upset. Saints at the Giants. These some horrible games this week.
God forsake. I'm just gonna go by the Saints, just by the Giants being the worst team.
Yeah, I got the Saints as well. Detroit just scored a touchdown, so it's looking bad for me already. Oh Lord, Eagles, Carolina at Philly. Philly's favored by 13.5.
God damn. I'm gonna kill the shit out of this fly once we get off air. I gotta go Philly. I mean, Carolina is playing better, but yeah, Philly.
Philly all day. I mean, this is going to be a blowout. Now, if Carolina somehow managed to win, I'm going to have a blast next week. I'm just letting you know that now. This might turn out to be a better game than it should be. Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go upset. Browns.
Wow. For fantasy football reasons, I hope you're right. But I got the Steelers winning at home. Your Buccaneers at home versus the Vegas Raiders. You're favored by 6.5.
I'm worried. I'm worried about this game. I think it's a trap game.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I just have a feeling it's going to be a trap game. But I'm going to go Bucks.
Nah, if you're 2-10, you ain't trying to win no more games. I got Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay winning. Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Ooh. I think this one could be who wins the division right here. You know what? I'm gonna go your sleeper. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Yep. I gotta take the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals as well. Bills at the LA Rams.
Bills all day.
Buffalo's favored by 3.5. Yeah. I'm gonna take the upset. I'll take the Rams. Just cause. Chicago at San Francisco.
Oof.
Dang.
San Francisco. I'm gonna go 49ers.
That's tough. I'll take the 49ers too. Chargers at the Chiefs.
Upset Chargers.
I'm feeling that way too, unfortunately. I've been high on the Chiefs, but I think I'm gonna take the Chargers and their defense as well. They always match up good against the Chiefs. So, got the hiccups. What the hell was that? Monday night, Bengals at the Cowboys.
For fantasy purposes, I need Chase to have 4 touchdowns and 250 plus yards. So let's go Bengals.
Dang. I think Chase is going to have 2 touchdowns and 400 some yards. So, yeah, I mean, the Cowboys defense is playing better. DeRon Bland has been great since he's been back. I think Diggs is returning this week, so that'll be great for the Cowboys. But the way the Bengals are moving the ball up and down the field, I think both teams are going to put up some points in this game, but I think Cincinnati wins. Broncos, Colts, Patriots, Commanders, Ravens, and Texans all have the week off.
Yeah.
That is the week 14 predictions right there. Now, real quick, get into some NBA talk. Every team is at least 20 games in right now. How are you feeling about your Spurs so far?
I think there's nights where they look really, really good, and then there's nights where they just look horrible. I think Wemby is still one of the, if not best, up-and-coming young basketball players in the NBA. I wish he wouldn't shoot so many damn threes, but when he is on fire, man, it's hard to stop that, man. So I like the addition of Chris Paul. I think Harrison Barnes has been playing excellent for the Spurs. Champagnie, I think, has been a excellent player for the Spurs as well. I think we may have found someone there. We got Sohan back, who we've missed greatly because he was injured. Because that he brings a little bit more of a scrappy player to the lineup. You know, they're playing better than they did last year. I'll say that. I mean, they didn't have this. They didn't have this many wins in December last year. So I'll give them that. We don't have Pop yet. Still, Coach Pop's been out because he had that stroke. So still don't have him. So with everything up against us, tough conference, tough division. I think we've been playing pretty good.
Yeah, I believe I said earlier that you got to look out for the Rockets in San Antonio as sleeper teams. The Rockets are the number 2 seed in the West, which is crazy. I wasn't expecting that now. But San Antonio, they'll be in the play-in right now if the playoffs started today.
I hate the Rockets. I ain't going to lie to you. I despise that team. I despise that fan base. But they're playing good ball.
Yeah. Denver is at the 8th spot. San Antonio is at the 10th spot, a half game behind the Lakers and a full game behind Denver. My Mavs on a 5-game winning streak right now, looking like one of the hottest teams in the league. And they're doing it without being fully healthy. So that's a plus for us.
Yeah.
Atlanta is on a 5-game winning streak. So
we need them to lose, man.
Yeah. They haven't lost since they lost to the Mavericks. You said you have their first round pick?
Yeah, we have their first round pick.
Oh, okay. Washington Wizards, who the Mavericks are playing right now, has lost 15 straight. And so the Mavs looks to be going on a 6-game winning streak because they're playing Washington, the worst team in the league. No Kyle Kuzma as well. So just a quick update on the NBA. In the East, the top 6 is Cleveland, Boston, Orlando, New York, Milwaukee, who's got hot recently thanks to Giannis, and the Hawks number 6. When did the Lions get Jamal Adams? Oh yeah, Jamal Adams got cut by Tennessee, and Detroit went to pick him up. So yeah.
How about that? Another team, just like the Eagles, picking up people's scraps that they just release because they feel like they don't have any more in the tank, and then they go to another team and play lights out. What else is new?
Now, you're going to be mad when you hear this. I don't think it's going to happen, especially in Dallas. I wouldn't personally do it, but there's a report that's saying...
I saw about Jimmy, right?
Yeah. So what's your thoughts if Jimmy ends up in Dallas or...
Fuck y'all if y'all get Jimmy Butler.
or Houston.
Fuck them. Fuck both those teams if y'all get Jimmy Butler. It just fucking makes me mad. It pisses me off because I hate... Like, I love being a Spurs fan, but then there's parts of me that just hate it because we never get the huge splashes.
That's
like
how
Chris Paul's like the biggest free agent we've gotten since I don't freaking know. We have to land on draft picks to get our guys.
Like OKC.
Yeah, look at Philly. You know, they get Paul George.
Not working.
They get. I mean, again, obviously, Paul George has been hasn't been working out for them. They got fucking James Harden not too long ago. They had fucking Jimmy Butler. Speaking of Jimmy Butler, so it's like
that's where they messed up when they let Jimmy Butler go.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's just like shit, man. Like, why can't our team be a destination for free agents to be coming over here? Now with Wemby here, maybe that ends up happening. Who knows? But Jimmy Butler, we have no one that we can give up for Jimmy, and y'all are gonna probably give up like a second round pick and someone off the bench.
No, he make too much. That's what I'm saying. We would have to give up Clay, Najee, and 2 more other players just to match it. And I'm not.
I wouldn't do that. I think to me too, Butler and Luka's play style wouldn't work very well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on paper, it seems cool because you'll be able to keep your bigs, you'll be able to keep PJ, and then you'll have Luka and Kyrie with Jimmy. But I don't want to turn into last year's Phoenix Suns where you have a big 3, and then everybody else. I don't want that. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't. Again, obviously, like you said, on paper, hell yeah, that team would look really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't do it if I'm Dallas. I wouldn't give up Clay and Najee. I mean, Najee, I don't know much about him. I see he's playing okay right now. But Clay, I think you got something with Clay, especially the way y'all play. He can light it up any night. I mean, obviously, there's nights where he looks like crap, but there's nights where he can go off on you. He did it against the Spurs not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I would keep Clay. I think you got something there. Maybe like a small transaction to get someone over there that can help you guys out in the long run, but not Jimmy Butler.
Feel your backup power forward. Somebody that's going to come in instead of bringing in Maxi Kleber to replace PJ, bring in somebody else. That's the only spot you need to fill right now.
There you go.
My shocker teams, Houston being number 2 seed in the West.
Yeah.
Philly being 5-15 right now. They need to blow it up. It's time to blow it up. Build around Maxey. Joel Embiid can go. Trade Paul George and everybody. It's Maxey's team now. Like Embiid can go, in my opinion. It's ridiculous.
That one's a tough one. Like I see your point of view. Like they got something with Maxey. Maxey, yeah. I just don't know. I don't think Embiid has the passion to be an NBA player.
Especially not for Philly.
Like,
he gets into it with the fans too much.
I would try to trade him as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would get in return, but I would try to get rid of him.
You'll get something. Like
what's the point now? He's sitting out almost every other game. Like, there's no point to even have him on your team.
I would instantly put Paul George and Embiid on a trade block and let one of these young up and coming teams that's hot. Hell, the Spurs might trade for Embiid.
Fuck that.
Houston might trade for Embiid. They're going to definitely try to trade for Jimmy Butler if he becomes available.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, some of these teams that may think they got something.
Yeah.
Or maybe like one of these win out, like Cleveland. Like someone who's playing very well.
Yeah.
Maybe they go all out and try to get Embiid or a Paul George.
They might give you Jared Allen.
Yeah, like obviously the money situation and all that stuff is going to play a factor, and I don't know if they'll be able to work it out. But if you're Philly, I can only imagine the frustration.
I'm frustrated, and I'm not even a Philly fan.
But imagine the front office. Like, the front office makes all this stuff. They get all these deals in hand. They get Paul George over in the offseason, and it's not worked out. Like, they've been hurt. They haven't played together.
But what did they think was going to happen when you put 2 injury-prone players together?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you on that, but it just...
I didn't like that from jump. I was just like, okay, both of them going to be injured? Like, it's like the Clippers with him and Kawhi.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. Yeah, whatever. I feel bad for Maxey because Maxey is out there playing his butt off and hustling, and it's just, yeah. But hey, whatever. Y'all made that mistake when y'all let Jimmy go and kept Tobias Harris and kept Ben Simmons over Jimmy Butler. That's when you messed up because you had a good team, and Jimmy and Embiid would have done more damage, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jimmy to me was like the perfect Philly player.
Right. The Sixers are not being honest about Embiid injury, says Jay Cross. So
probably not.
I believe that too. But shout out to the NBA, man. We, like I said, we over 20 games in, so we'll do it probably every 20 games just to, at least while the NFL is going. Then once the NFL is done, then we'll talk more about it. We have top 6 teams in the East. Cleveland, Boston, Orlando, New York, Milwaukee, Atlanta, top 6 in the West. OKC, Houston, Dallas, Memphis, Phoenix, Golden State. So let's get it, keep it moving. Yeah. Only thing we got on the NCAA is just me. I just want to talk noise. Because a lot of people are mad. All these Miami fans are mad. Oh my God, Alabama is ahead of us in the playoff bracket. You already know what I got to say to y'all.
Shut up, bitch.
Exactly, Rock. Shut up, B-word. Exactly. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because when I told you last year that it was BS, and I actually like Alabama, but it was BS. Last year, when you go skip a Power 5 undefeated team just because their quarterback is injured, like the rest of the team wasn't there to play, you skip them. I don't want to hear nothing about no Miami crying because, oh, we lost 2 games and they skipped us. You didn't even make your conference championship. At least Florida State went and won. They went 13-0. You're not even making the ACC championship. And rightfully so, you should be mad because you have 2 L's, they have 3, and that game against Oklahoma was horrible. Mm-hmm. They have L's against Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. So rightfully so, Alabama should not be in the playoffs right now over Miami. I absolutely agree. But guess what? I don't effing care because it was funny when it happened to Florida State last year. Bruh. So I don't care that they don't belong and they skip y'all. I don't care. It's funny to me because you talked all that noise when Florida State got skipped and Florida State was undefeated. And then all the idiots, oh, you see Florida State got blown out by Georgia. Everybody set out. The whole roster set out. None of them played. Keon Coleman, Trey Benson, none of them played. Johnny Wilson, none of them played. So the team that you saw go up against Georgia is the team that you're seeing on the field now. Now, the recruiting was horrible. I don't know what happened. The recruiting was horrible. But now that Florida State is starting to fix that from what it looks like on the timeline, I've been seeing a whole bunch of flips and all that going. So Florida State will be back within the next 2 years. But you Miami fans that's crying, you laughed. Eat a dick. I don't care. Bruh. Be mad. I don't care if you're right. It doesn't matter if you're right. Because it was funny when it happened to Florida State, but now that it's happening to you, it ain't funny no more. We told y'all the SEC is, I love the SEC. I think the SEC is the best conference in college football, but they are overhyped as well. Like, teams get in when they shouldn't be getting in. Alabama shouldn't have skipped Florida State last year. They right now, they shouldn't be ahead of Miami, but again, I don't care. So all you Miami fans, cry more. I love it, and I hope Alabama gets in. Now, the top 12 right now, Boise State is number 4, Oregon number 1, SMU number 3, Texas number 2. They all get bye weeks in the first round if it started today. Arizona State number 12, which I don't know how they skip, but whatever, because Big 12 championship, I guess. Arizona State will take on Penn State. Tennessee will take on Ohio State, who just lost to Michigan, who's now 6-6. Alabama would take on Notre Dame. I think Alabama can beat Notre Dame. That's the crazy thing about it. And Indiana would take on Georgia, who almost took an L to Georgia Tech. So that's what it looks like if it was to start today and if all these teams win. What's your thoughts on it?
I mean, they're interesting matchups. Like you said, Arizona State being there, number 12. Obviously, the Big 12 championship played a part in that. But
rightfully so.
Right. You know, I'm not necessarily fans of like the top 4 power conferences getting automatic buys. It's kind of unfair to Penn State, who plays well all season, and a team like Boise or SMU jumps them and has a bye automatically. And then you guys got like Texas, for example. Texas is number 2. They lose to Georgia. Georgia, they flip-flop. Georgia goes to number 2, 3, or 4. And then Texas doesn't get their bye anymore. How does that like make any sense? It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. So, and again, Oregon They lose to Penn State, a team that Oregon I think is undefeated. Correct? They haven't lost all year. They lose in the conference championship, and automatically they get taken out of the top 4. Like, make it make sense. Like, it doesn't. And that's the only problem that I have with it. Other than that, I think some of these matchups will be really, really good. Notre Dame, Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio State obviously would be a good one. I don't like that aspect of the playoff. Other than that, yeah, I like it.
It's a thing where we're never gonna get it right, no matter how many teams they put in. When it was the BCS, it never worked. When it was the 14 playoff, we got the BS that we got last year. 12 teams, you would think that it'll be easier, and they're still effing it up.
Yeah.
But again, since my team ain't in it, and it's the rival team that's getting skipped, I don't care. I'm gonna laugh at it. It's funny now. So, it is what it is, and
I hear you on that, man.
Yeah. Hey, Miami, good luck. You should have beat Syracuse. You was up by 20 plus points. You should have won. Should have BCS equals BS. Man, the BC. Could you imagine if we were still in the BCS days where it was just the top 2 teams and this no playoff? Man, oh my God, that was horrible.
I agree.
That was horrible, man. So, but yeah, that's all we got for you today, man. Appreciate everybody for joining. On all platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever else we on right now. Anything you want to shout out before we get off?
Nah. Always fun to have and talk sports. Obviously, all I do is talk wrestling, so sports talk is very, very minimum on our channel because we talk wrestling. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
That's it, Jeff.
I will be on Sunday afternoon. If you guys want to chill and watch football or hang out, talk football, I do Bucks watch-alongs. So I'll be live on the Get the Tables channel for the Bucks and Raiders game. So. Oh,
y'all doing the watch-along Saturday for NXT?
Yes, for the NXT. Yeah. So we'll be live tomorrow and on Saturday as well. So if you guys want to come hang out for wrestling, more than welcome to.
2 quick things. What did you think about Survivor Series, and why the hell is Adam Page helping Jay White right now?
Adam Page had no fucking idea what's going on over there. Other than I think they're starting to now team up against Moxley, so maybe that is why they're all. I gotta make sure, dude.
You missed Survivor Series too?
No. Last weekend I rushed home. Right, I thought the Bucks played at noon, so I rushed home from work, get home, take a shower. I eat something real quick, get on my computer because I don't watch it I use the mess streams.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up the game and it's not working. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Look at my phone. The game started at 3.
Well, at least you was home.
Yeah.
At least you was home.
But Survivor Series, I thought it was okay. I thought the men's War Games match was way better than the women. The women, to me, did not need to be a War Games match. It could have just been a 5-on-5 traditional elimination match, and I think it would have worked perfectly.
They need to bring that back, at least for one match.
I don't get the notion of having both men and women be in War Games matches. It just feels forced at this point. Obviously, they're trying to get rid of any kind of backlash they'll get on Twitter or from the fans. Why is it the women getting the opportunity? I totally understand that, but give them the opportunity when it makes sense. And at this point, it didn't. They just threw them in together just to have a War Games match. It didn't really click very well either in the match as well. I thought the triple threat was fantastic, and surprised Nakamura won. But other than that, I thought it was about a 3, maybe 2.5 pay-per-view.
That was the right call. Nakamura winning.
Yeah,
you can't keep doing a cold and hot starts with him, especially he just came back.
Right, and that's the one thing with Nakamura is like he was feuding with Cody for like almost half a year, it seemed like, and they just didn't do shit with him. He's gone for a little bit, and there you go, he's back. Glad to see he won the title.
By the way, WWE fan, everybody gave Nia Jax hell. It wasn't her fault. She was actually protecting the wrestlers in there. Naomi's the one that curled up and didn't give her nowhere to swing the chair. and you even hear Nia say no, bitch, and then like don't do that because where else am I gonna hit you? Like and not hurt you legit. You know.
I also think too, honestly, I don't think a lot of those women knew how to throw chairs or swing chairs. They don't. I don't think.
And every single one of them brought a weapon in the match.
Yeah, they're not used to being in that type of a environment or a game or a match like that. So I just don't think they don't know how to do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, so we're gonna do. I plan on doing I don't know when. It'll be like next 2-3 weeks or so. But I want to do a special wrestling video where we're trading wrestlers between companies like NFL, NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So we come up with like 5 to 10 trades, and we trade these wrestlers, and then we let the chat decide, you know, which trades are the best.
Oh yeah, I'll be down. Just let me know.
So we'll get that set up for one of these Sundays soon, before Christmas, hopefully. And then we'll set that up. I think that'll be a very dope show. So
I'm down for that.
But yeah, appreciate everybody watching all platforms. If you're on YouTube, like the video. Everybody on Twitch, appreciate y'all. Everybody on Twitter that's coming through, appreciate y'all. So Twitter, people are watching. We just got to get people to start chatting. So appreciate y'all. And until next time. dopecontent.com, DallasMavsUpdate.com. We're dropping stuff left and right all over the place. We got some more wrestling exclusives coming. If you're a Twitcher, Dope Content Twitch, you know, we're building that community back up because we're trying to start back streaming more consistently back on Twitch. We're still waiting on Maya to reconfirm a time and date when she could get on the show. She was supposed to do the Thanksgiving Eve and got caught trying to get back, you know, in town from being out of town. So she just couldn't make it back in time to do the interview. So probably, I mean, most likely she'll have another break around Christmas as well. We'll probably do the interview then like we did with Melina last year. So we'll see. As soon as she let me know, I'll let y'all know. But shout out to everybody once again, man. Till next time, we out. Power rankings might look a little different after Green Bay upsets Detroit tonight. But nah, till next time, man, y'all be safe. We're out.
Yes, sir.